Hi everyone. In this video, we will discuss about the employment reference letter for Canada permanent residency application, how I drafted my reference letter and the details I included in my letter, and what to do if you cannot get a reference letter from your employer. All the information in this video is based on my own experience, and I'm not an immigration lawyer or a consultant registered with CICC. Please consult a registered consultant for professional advice. Employer reference letter is a very important supporting document for Canadian economic immigration application. Unlike the regular job reference letters that we submit for employment, this reference letter should be able to prove your employment to the visa officer reviewing your application and should match the NOC code you have selected. Work experience play a crucial role in your immigration application as you will be evaluated based on the skills and values you will bring to the country as a new immigrant and support the Canadian economy. Hence the name economic immigration. So applicants are obliged to convince the officer that the employment experience is genuine and any mistake in the employment reference letter would delay your application process and might even lead to rejection. Let's take a look at the format of my reference letter. I will start by sharing with you the details and format of my reference letter and how I drafted it so that I made sure I did not make any mistakes. The top left corner of my reference letter had the date printed and the top right corner had the company logo. Next comes the body of the letter, which we will discuss in just a few minutes. After the main body of the letter, my manager's name and designation was printed along with the signature and the company's official seal stamped on it. The footer of the letter contained the company's full name, address, phone number, and the registration number. Now let's see what was in the main body of the letter, which made up for most of the letter. The body of the letter had the details such as the name, the employee ID number, full-time or a part-time employment. Next is the start date and the end dates of the employment. Your position or role in the company and the name of your manager or your direct report along with their phone number and email address. And finally, if possible, you could also get the number of hours per week that you worked and your annual salary. Next comes the lead statement and the job responsibilities. The letter should have a lead statement that should provide a purview of what your job responsibilities are. Your job title need not match the job title of the NOC code you have selected, but your lead statement and the list of job responsibilities should match most of the roles listed for your NOC. That being said, you cannot copy paste the NOC description and that will create suspicion and might lead to rejection. Some useful tips that I applied when getting my reference letter. Be transparent and let your employers know what exactly you want and how you want in your reference letter. You can write the roles and responsibilities yourself and send them to your employer and ask them to use the same. If they're okay with what you have written, they will print them on the company's letterhead. Avoid adding industry-specific terms or abbreviations because the visa officer reviewing your letter might not be familiar with your industry. Also, make sure to avoid repetition of the same responsibility. If possible, reach out to some registered immigration consultants and ask them to help review your letter. Many consultants offer this as a paid service. While processing my PR application, I drafted my reference letter very carefully to avoid any mistakes, and I also reached out to some registered immigration consultants and asked them to review my letter and provide feedback. Based on their reviews, I went back to my employer and asked them to change a few things. What to do if you cannot get a reference letter from your employer? If you cannot get a reference letter for a genuine reason, then you can write a signed explanation letter stating why you cannot provide a reference letter and submit few additional documents to prove your employment. A signed letter from your colleagues. The letter should have the declaration by your colleague along with their signature, phone number, and email address. You can submit photos of you at your office. You can submit your payslips, your job offer letter, and your relieving letter. Your bank statements showing the salary that was credited to your bank account, and your tax returns. That's all for this video, and thank you for watching.